You know, experience is supposed to be the best teacher. You know what? But experience is supposed to be your best protection also. So, gentlemen, pay attention. You know, this head coach, Sherrone Moore, you know, ex-Michigan coach, by the way, he is about to learn the hard way. The game is the game, and you cannot cheat the game. You know, this is Savage Sports Fan. Please like, share, subscribe. New subscribers, thanks for the love and support. Drop a comment, hit the bell, don't cut share video. Listen. So, you know, Sherrone Moore's ex, or, you know, playmate or side chick, Paige, the pretty blonde, she looked like she put on some weight, by the way. Maybe that's stress. Maybe because everybody knows her face. You know, she sat on Good Morning America and she started screaming how she was taken advantage of. She had, this black man had more control over her life than she did. Man, in the state of Michigan, this head coach is what she's claiming had complete control over her. This is crazy. She could have resigned. You know, she's working at the University of Michigan, so that carries weight. So let's debunk her conversation before we get into how all these successful guys just keep falling for the same old okie doke, the same stupidity. Remember, Houston's current head coach, Houston Rockets head coach, he had the same situation with the Boston Celtics. You know, Ikedami, whatever the one is losing. Well, they beat the Lakers last night, but he has the same situation with Boston. He had to resign and all this other stuff. But now you have this Michigan coach with this younger woman. Now the problem was she worked for him, so to a certain extent, yes. He was the authority figure. He was over her. He hired her. Yeah. But she worked at the University of Michigan. That's on her resume. She's a pretty white girl. She could have shopped that, put that on her resume, shopped around, found her another job, turned around and sued Michigan and everybody and got all this stuff and just really got the bag. However, that did not happen. So Paige goes on Good Morning America and she just pretty much throws the coach under the bus. She took no responsibility for being an adult. She took no responsibility that she knew he was a married man. She took no responsibility that, you know, she was doing her thing. None. Gentlemen, pay attention. Pay attention. This is the oldest playbook. It is. It's an old playbook. But why do these men of power, men of resources keep falling for the same stupidity? They got a very, very short-term mentality. Their thinking is very short-term. They're not thinking, you know, the possible divorce. His wife going to eventually divorce him. He doesn't have that contract for Michigan. He may not get another big, you know, Big Ten opportunity like that to coach at that level. He might have to go and coach high school. That's going to be like $30,000 to $50,000 a year, maybe. You know, then he's going to have to sue. He claims he's suing the University of Michigan, which is going to be tough. Now, you know, and Lord knows whatever else is going to pop up on him going forward. So, gentlemen, pay attention. You are your best bodyguard. You are your best financial bodyguard. You are your best physical bodyguard. Everything with Paige and Sherrone started out with, they had good vibes, they laughed, they joked, the energy was there, it started out cool, and he let his guard down. He's older. He let his guard down. He let his guard down because, you know why? When you are at that level and you the head coach, can't nobody tell you nothing. Can't nobody check you. You know, somebody probably say, hey man, be careful, you a married man, bruh. Especially in the in Michigan. Michigan is accepting but not accepting. New Michigan, around universities, you see interracial dating, it's not a big deal. But the general consensus, you know, even though the great Irvin Magic Johnson's from Michigan still kind of raise their eyebrows up when they start seeing these pretty white girls running chasing a black man. So he should have known. Coach should have known. Drop that comment. Are you shocked? She went on Good Morning America. How did she get an interview? Why would they want to interview her? He was acquitted. I think he filed no contest. He didn't fight certain charges. Other charges was dropped. I thought he would have got an interview before the female. No. Not in the United States of America. It's playing out in your face, ladies and gentlemen. The coach, the authority figure, the man in the headlines did not get the interview. The person he was sleeping with got the interview. So, gentlemen, protect yourself at all times. So, like I said, what started out innocent and fun just turned out to be a financial nightmare for the rest of his life. Lord knows what she might sue him with. I think she's setting him up for a lawsuit. And then you look at his divorce from his family. Then you got to look at him have to live as a man in this world. Man, his life is over, man. I hope he can bounce back and get put on somebody's coaching staff. Somebody can pull him up in the college range as a coordinator. Somebody can pull him up in the NFL ranks. That is his best opportunity to make some connections and networks and get on somebody's coaching staff. Because if he's staying around Michigan, man, his life is over. Could you imagine when he walks into Trader Joe's, how people look at him? When he walk into Whole Foods, how people look at him? Could you imagine that? Listen, he brought it on himself. He a grown man. We not here to say, you do the authority figure. You the man of means. You the high value man. You are a high value man, so you have to walk and treat yourself, regardless if you got a whistle in your hand or you got a suit on every day. He's still making more money than the average person. You have to Google what his salary was, and it wasn't chump change. And he did a lot for Michigan, so his face is pretty much everywhere. But at the end of the day, it's going to be another white girl to try to give him some on the side. You better believe this ain't going to stop. It's going to be another female to try to give him some on the side and to see if he going to bite. She might feel sorry for him. She might like him. But this ain't going to be the end of him, doing his thing. So my suggestion is, gentlemen, always have you some form of protection. Have somebody looking out for you. I thought his wife would have been a little bit more involved, but evidently, hey man, he had her at home. Hey man, you stay home and take care of the kids, and I'll go out here and I'll do my thing on this field, and the rest is history. So, high value men are not above making mistakes. High value men are not above being taken. High value men are not above being checked by the legal system. So the biggest thing you can take is don't ruin your life thinking very short term. Don't do this. So this man, this downfall, they're loving it in the Midwest. They loving it. They probably more than likely, even though he led the University of Michigan to a championship, they still probably did not want him to have that head coaching position. A lot of people did not want him to have that. Coach Harbaugh kind of handed off and co-signed that to him. Harbaugh had his own scandals that we are not going to bring up. You have to look at that. But at the end of the day, a lot of people are happy that this man has fallen. See, they love you. They love you when you're at the bottom with them. When you at the bottom with them, they love you. They love you to death. They gonna buy him drinks and dinner. He gonna sit at the bar and tell him his problems like everybody else. They love you when you're at the bottom. But you know what? If you want to stay at the top, you need to discipline yourself and understand you are your best bodyguard, gentlemen. You are your best bodyguard, especially your financial bodyguard. So, end of the day, another one bites the dust. Savage Sports fan, drop that comment, share a video, hit the bell notification. Man, Paige sat on Good Morning America looking bloated, looking stressed. I wonder if is she having sex right now? Is she so stressed she just can't see any man right now? I don't think so. I think she doing her thing and she about to line this dude up and get her a nice little bag. Anyway, that's my time. Drop that comment, hit the bell notification. I'm out.